In just a few days, it'd be 3 whole years since we moved into this glorious wreck of a house. And as you can see, the ivy's still clinging onto the walls with vigour. And there's scrap metal fused into the hedge, like a trophy really. And as we come down here, you can see the path is, well, it's 90% weed and 10% gravel. And as we come over here, one particular section of wall is doing its best impression of a Roman ruin, and this section here is topped with a terrifying fence. You clearly thought French country charm, thought minimum security prison chic, and if they'd swapped it for coiled razor wire and some search towers and spot lamps, that I think they would have really nailed it. The render, well, that's kind of a generous word at this state and time. And as we come along here, you see what I mean. It's more of a suggestion at this point, and everyone that comes past likes to stick their hand behind it and give it a wobble. And so does the rain and the wind and everyone else like that. Particularly our friends Ted and Lisa, I think you'll find. So, and the garden, as you can see, I don't know if you can see by Mandy's feet there, there's an old cross-ply tyre for those that remember, and there's scrap metal, car batteries and everything else like that that's buried in it. So that's going to take an awful lot of clearing. So we'll get there. So yes, so the big questions are, especially for us, are we still carrying on with this renovation, and when are we going to start renovating the outside of the house? Well, great questions. No idea really. I think you just have to keep watching. I think it's weather dependent.
Well, it's 35 or 36 degrees out the front at the moment.
So yes, very much weather dependent. This house was abandoned for 30 years. The trouble is, with this front wall, it still looks abandoned, and it's covered in ivy, starting to bellow out underneath the weight of all the soil behind it. And there's some cherry trees at the end there, which really aren't doing it any good at all. And it's, well, the ivy on top of it isn't doing it much good at all. And it's been repaired with cement. As I don't know if you can rip it up, but it falls out under its own good. Yeah, so it all needs chiseling out and stuff like that, and we will be over the next couple of weeks or month removing all the render off the front of the house. And when we remortar the front of the house, any spare mortar at the end of the day will be going in this wall, and hopefully it'll neaten it up a little bit. And part of the plan over the next couple of years will be to replace this rather ugly fence, I think, because yeah, it doesn't look good. So if we can neaten up this wall, that will be splendid. We're going to try and renew all the wood on the gate, because as you can probably tell, it's in pretty poor state. The signs basically mean it used to be an animal trapping zone. We think we've cleared most of them, and the other little sign means beware of the dog. But yeah, it's in terrible state. All the wood is, well, it's, as you can see, it's detaching of its own accord now. So yeah, it needs dire attention. The bolts came out with actually, well, not too much effort at all, but the threads there, they were knackered, so we're going to replace all of those with stainless. So I'm sitting here watching paint dry as Mandy does a really good job of touching up all the paintwork, because the metalwork is actually in incredibly good nick, isn't it? Yeah. It's actually barely any signs of rust at all, considering this house was abandoned, what, for 30 odd years. Yeah. This gate has survived incredibly well, better than the rest of the house really. So just given the new boards for the gate a lick of protection before they go on, and hopefully that should make them look a lot better than what was on there, because obviously what was on there was falling off of there. The 30-year-old gates are looking rather good. Mandy's just tightening up the coach bolts. Trade on. Today is brilliant because, well, firstly, the skies have stopped rumbling with thunder and it is pretty hot. But I've actually managed to clear all the wall of old cement and mortar, which is absolutely brilliant because it was a lot of hard work, and yeah, it did take quite a while, and yeah, it was hard work, and some of these stones were quite heavy to put back in place, and we had to take the long route to get some of them back in place. And guess what, I've just spotted a bit of cement. See, that's the trouble when you do it skipping rain showers. The cement actually looks the same colour as granite when you do it in the rain. So, well, I have to come back and do that bit, so it's not the end of the world. And yeah, as soon as you get a bit of rain, the weeds pop straight back out as soon as you get a bit of sunshine. So it's nearly done. So yeah, oh, there's another bit of cement there. So, well, it's nearly done, but yeah, it was hard work getting all this done, but yeah, pretty close. But that was a lot of work, that was. Hello, Mr. Lizard. You're going to have to find a new home next week, because we're going to be ripping all of this render off. That's right, you're going to have to find a new home because you're being evicted. Sorry.
I have so been looking forward to doing
Yeah, we've been here, what, 3 years and a few days?
Yeah.
And everyone that's visited this house has, well, they've all had a pick at this particular bit of wall, and I don't think the lizards really want us to do this, do they?
No, but it needs to be done, and I'm afraid you gave them notice yesterday for eviction.
Yeah, I did. Yesterday wasn't really a good day because I started off the day by punching a butterfly, so
Not good.
not good. So I didn't do it deliberately. I was swinging a pickaxe at the time and I accidentally punched a butterfly. But today I'm going to evict lizards from their little home. You can actually hear them chirping at times,
Yeah,
so they make this little sort of twittery chirp noise. But you can see how loose. Oh, it actually rattled up there. Oh no, everyone itches to do this, and yeah,
I've waited
when the
years.
when the wind blows, you can actually hear it rattle. So, oh, it's so nervous.
I've waited 3 years for this.
Yeah, should we do it?
Yeah. Hang on. Escape route.
Escape route. Oh,
That was so satisfying.
that was satisfying. So, big apologies for all those people that have been dying to do that. We did it together.
Yes.
Yeah. So, where do you reckon they lived?
Here.
Here. Oh, they're deep holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to dismount the camera and... Oh, sorry.
That one there.
Yeah.
And that one there. I won't stick that in case they're still in.
Yeah.
And that one there.
Yeah. There you go, folks.
Acorn.
Acorn. There's no real evidence. You can see all their droppings and stuff like that, but yeah. So, sorry folks to the lizards. We've evicted them.
Yep.
And there's plenty of abandoned barns around here for them to live in,
And
we've
there's the little wall there as well.
we got the little wall, and there's an abandoned barn in our garden, so they got plenty of places to live. So, oh, you're going again, aren't you?
Yeah, go on. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, so satisfying. So we got the rest of the front of the house to do, and it shouldn't take too long at this rate.
No, definitely not. Okay.
Let's talk damage to the front of the house. There are obviously quite a few vertical cracks. Now, largely they're due to broken guttering. And when we moved in, this window was, well, it was open and there were panes of glass missing. And the gutter was broken here and about there. And the downpipe, well, it was missing and swinging in the breeze and problems like that. Now, there is quite a deep crack there. Yeah, that goes, well, that went all the way through into the inside. So there's a deep crack there. Now, there is a crack that runs down here and to the front door. But the deepest cracks here, running down here. But when we started redecorating the bedroom, the wall on the inside of the bedroom, and you can't actually see it from the outside, just tumbled away and all the stones just fell on the floor, and we were able to see the render, and a pile of stones about the size of, I don't know, a sofa cushion or something like that just fell on the floor, and yeah, we could see a large patch of render. So we don't know quite what we're going to find, sort of somewhere around there. So that might be, you know, a major disaster zone there. And also next door to the door light there, the bees have been going in there, yeah, majorly over the last, they only arrived, what, 3 weeks ago? But yeah, wasps, sorry, not bees, wasps. They arrived about 3 weeks ago, but the size of the pile of dust in our hallway has been huge. So yeah, they've been making themselves well and truly at home. But the lizards in where Mandy is working, they were there before we moved in. So yeah, they've obviously they've been making a pile of dust in our, what is our dining room, for, well, decades probably. So yeah, and also these cables down this wall here, they're all new. That is yeah, that's a spectacular attempt by the electricity board to give us fibre optic and 3-phase electricity. Why they couldn't put the electricity meter in the upstairs bedroom, we don't know, but they decided to put it downstairs and leave that mess of electricity cable on the outside of our house. Thank you, electricity board, but that's how they did it. This cement, trust me, it's about 40 or 50 degrees at the moment, and this is where I've pulled it off, and it is orange at the moment, and that's because it's trapped in decades worth of moisture where it can't breathe, and within a few seconds it will dry to this lovely white colour, which is, well, the lime mortar behind, so that is nice and white. So yeah, it's already changing colour as we speak to a nice light colour. So yeah, that's what the wrong choice of materials does. What Mandy is clearing up, there's a lintel stone about here, and this stone here is rocking and it's loose, and what you get next door to front doors is often what they call a witch's eye or
Fisherman's eye.
Fisherman's eye or something like that, and they're little tiny windows. And yeah, so what we were thinking was maybe is if we could find, I don't know, a bit of stained glass or a bit of glass.
Yeah, a glass of some description to go there.
Yeah.
And then, because this is so loose anyway.
Yeah.
And you can see through.
Starting to see through into the inside. So we were thinking of cleaning it up and putting a bit of glass in or something like that.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and a lot of the houses in the local area, or barns or sort of farmhouses in the local area seem to have these sort of features. So yeah, we were thinking of doing something like that, making a feature of it, because this one's been bricked up sometime in the past. Yeah, on the inside we got this little spy hole window, and you can probably hear Mandy scratching away on the outside. Oh, I can see you've gone through. There's light coming through. There's another one by another door. Here is the hole where the wasps are coming in and out, and as you can see there's one going in, there's another going in, and oh, there's loads going in. What I've got to do is I've got to remove the mortar from behind the light without getting attacked. There's mortar here, and hopefully I don't get attacked, and they're gonna get pretty upset, I imagine. I don't want to get stung. I'm a bit of an idiot, but yeah, as you can see, the old bobbing and
Ducking and diving.
Bobbing and weaving, ducking and diving. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so quickly do it. Whoa, they're getting a bit annoyed now. As you can imagine, there's quite a few swarming now. Yeah, they're obviously getting quite annoyed, as you'd imagine. So might leave it. Yeah, they're getting annoyed now, so I'm going to stop. Scaffolding is so tight down this staircase, it is unbelievable. It is millimetre tight each side, and it is rubbing on the wall each side. And I don't know if you can see, but Mandy is working around the power cable and the Wi-Fi, and we don't want to cut ourselves off from the grid quite at this moment in time. And it is searing hot at the moment. It is 38, 39 degrees, which is just over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and the sun is just baking down on us at the moment, so it's quite toasty, so to speak. And the lime render, or what do they call it in France, crepe, is literally falling off, and as it falls off it wants to take the power cable with it, and the Wi-Fi is fibre cable is quite fragile, and when the sheets fall off, it wants to just rip huge sections with it and take the Wi-Fi cable with it, and as you can imagine, that's quite nerve-wracking. So yeah, we're doing our best, and of course the wasps are just hovering around your head as well at the time, which doesn't help. Those people in cooler countries might not have experienced this, but these joints between the two scaffolding poles here, they've expanded and contracted, so you can't fit the scaffold joints together. So yeah, we're having problems sort of fitting the scaffolding together in different configurations, so to speak. The shorter bits where they've been in the shade have stayed the same length, whereas the longer bits have probably stretched, we're finding. And yeah, so it's been a right pain to fit together. And the other problem we're getting is, I'm getting, because I've got a little bit of a beer paunch, is when I lean forward and there's exposed flesh that touches the scorching hot scaffolding, and I step back where there's a lack of scaffolding board. And of course, yeah, it's quite exciting, so to speak. Trampling all the rubble and the lime show mortar into the steps has done a cracking job of cleaning them up, which is much easier than jet washing or sandblasting or anything like that, which is quite lucky because we're in a hosepipe ban. So it's saved us a job, really, isn't it? They've come up sparkling clean. So yeah, it's a labour saving job, done the hard way. The only thing about wearing 30-year-old tracksuit bottoms for removing all the lime mortar off is it keeps going in all the holes, and I keep having to like shake it out the bottom. Oh, now it's gone in my trainers. It's like The Great Escape, if anyone's seen that film. So yeah, I'm having to walk around the garden and just like, you know, get it out the bottom. So that's reminding me, I've just looked at the fence. I haven't removed the fence, so it feels like I'm walking around a prison yard at the moment, like just shaking it out. So yeah, it's terrible. So yeah, I've just gravelled myself. I'm gonna have to take my trainer off now.
You've been gravelled.
I've been gravelled, yeah. For those of you are worried, we've managed to work around the wasp hole, and what we're going to do is we're going to mortar up around it and leave it for the rest of the summer. So they're going to have a nice little hole to go in and out for the rest of the year, and then over winter we'll plug it up sometime late summer. So they have a nice little home for the rest of the summer, and then once they've moved on, we'll plug it up then. We come to Brocante. We're looking for a piece of glass. It could be stained glass, it could be clear, it could be a bowl, it could be a lamp, it could be anything. It's quite busy considering the heat. Yeah, so wish us luck. It could be large, it could be small, it could be anything. So yeah, if all else fails, there's a couple of cracking restaurants we're going to dive into to shelter from the heat. Well, we ended up doing 3 pecans in the weekend. It was a very sociable weekend, and we had a lot of cold drinks, so we ended up getting this glass tile, and I think that'll do the job very well actually. So yeah, perfect. We're expecting to find a complete disaster zone in this corner, because basically when we peeled away the wallpaper inside, the wall just tumbled onto the floor. But there are a couple holes where we missed a couple of pieces, but all in all it's actually in quite good condition, and a couple of patches of the mortar are solid, obviously, because well, they're only a year old, but most of it is actually dust, particularly around the edges where it's been baked by the sun for well 150 years basically. But yeah, it is just falling away as Mandy chisels it, as you can probably see. But yeah, not even having to chisel basically. But we were expecting to find a complete disaster zone in this particular corner, and we haven't. So we're quite pleased, really. So yeah, we obviously did a lot better job of repairing this wall from the inside than we were expecting. So yeah, there's a patch in the middle where I was expecting to find a complete horror zone, and it's not. There's a couple of holes where we missed a couple of bits, but yeah,
it's all right, isn't it?
It's all right.
Yeah.
We're learning. We're greasing up the ends of the scaffolding legs, which in this sort of dust bowl and environment at the moment, well, that's pretty tricky because it's drafty at the moment. We've only got that end piece left to do. For all those keyboard twitchers out there who are bound to comment, we're currently raking out around the incoming 3-phase electrics. We had to stop last night because there was sort of like a thunder and lightning shower, and apparently it's not the right thing to do to rake out around incoming mains electrics while there's thunder and lightning. I've heard scaffolding, yeah, particularly when there's live there's helicopters overhead putting out forest fires in the surrounding area, which have been started by either the heat wave or the thunder and lightning in the surrounding area. I've heard it's a bad thing to do anyway, so we stopped. So, you know, either case the helicopter pilots waved at us or anything like that, you know, we didn't want to distract them from the task at hand that they were doing. So anyway, we're carrying on sort of today, and hopefully we get this very last piece done, and hopefully that'll be it. How's it looking up there?
Good. Really good. A
You-
lot better than I thought it was going to be.
You pleased? Magnifique.
Yeah. And I wasn't electrocuted once.
No! Hopefully you'll be able to see the before and after and what we've done, because yeah, there's quite a difference. We got to wait a few weeks for it to drop at least 15 degrees.
Yeah, it's too hot for
centigrade.
lime mortaring at the moment.
It's way too hot for lime watering at the moment. It'd simply go off in seconds in this temperature, which wouldn't be good.
Yeah, we've got plenty of other projects to keep us
Oh
going.
yeah,
though.
yeah, garden and everything. So no worries in that particular. But hopefully you'll keep watching in the meantime. So as usual, folks, give us a bit of the old like and subscribe.
He does like that.
Do like a bit of that, and leave a comment or two, because she loves reading.
We love
the
those. Yeah.
And hopefully we'll
See ya.
see you soon.
Au
Au revoir.